Hi, this is Kendra from Pencil and Pigment, and today I wanted to have a little chat. Now, I'm going to be prepping my paper as I have this chat with you for my drawing challenge, so in case you're wondering what this process looks like, now you can see it. So I wanted to talk about imaginary color. So the way I would explain like the easiest, simplest definition of imaginary color would be to say that imaginary color is a color you see when you squeeze your eyes shut really, really tight. So if you've ever wondered like why you see color when you close your eyes really, really tight, it has to do, and I'm going to explain some stuff about the eyes. It has to do with your eyes. So it's called cone fatigue. There was a couple different things that create imaginary color. So one is when you close your eyes really, really tight. And the other one is when you stare at a color for a really, really long time and then look away and you see sort of the antithesis of that color. You see a whole new color. So I want to talk about the one where when you close your eyes, you see colors. I think this is absolutely the wildest thing. And I was trying to figure out, the reason I find this so interesting is one, I'm obsessed with color because of art. And two, like if there could be a way to incorporate imaginary color into a creator challenge or a sketchbook challenge, like I want to do that. Doesn't that sound absolutely wild? And I have no idea how. So I figured if I explain it to you, I will learn and understand a bit more about it. And in doing so, maybe I could figure out how to incorporate some of that somewhere down the line. Probably not this year, but at some point it'd be really, really fun to incorporate that. So when you close your eyes, you kind of see black. And there's sort of splashes of light. It's called phosphene. And it boils down to our visual system, our eyes and our brains. They don't shut off when, you can't see light anymore. So the black background, like the absence of light, has its own system. And then there's sort of an intrinsic gray. When our eyes are closed, we're in the darkness with our eyes open. Like, there's a whole bunch to this, and I'm trying to figure this out. It's not static color. So what you're seeing is sort of your mind making up this information. And when you stare, and I'm gonna link some really cool videos where they'll show you a colored circle and you stare at it for a really, really long time. And then they'll show you like a blank screen or whatever, and you look at it and you'll see, from staring at orange, you now see blue. And that's something called a cone fatigue. That has to do with your eyeballs getting tired from staring at one color for too long. So your eyes have cells called photoreceptors, and those detect light. There's two types of photoreceptors. So there's rods and cones. And rods detect light and dark, and cones detect color, like red, blue, green. So when you stare at one color for too long, the cells that detect the color will become tired. They just get really, really tired from staring at that one color. And the after image is sort of a result of the photoreceptors not being balanced anymore. So as the photoreceptors become less tired, it takes like 10 to 30 seconds, the balance is restored, and the after image disappears. So if you stare at something red, your red cones get tired. And the cones that perceive red's complementary color, sort of cyan, if you will, are completely rested. So when you look at a blank white area, the after image is now cyan. So scientists are still studying this, trying to figure out what this means. This helps us understand what happens to our eyes with prolonged vision, looking at screens and reading materials. So scientists are still trying to figure out all this. There was a study done in like 1983 looking, like, can people, like, can they use an eye tracker device to sort of, I don't even know. They can track involuntary movements of one eye. It helps see the boundaries. Like, they were trying to figure out like how people do this and how this works. I'm trying to add some gold in here so it has a really nice shine. And this is the color I've made. It kind of looks swampy here in the dark. We're having a very gray day and I'm not doing another gray spread. I refuse. So I'm just gonna add more gold. I mean, fiction has talked a lot about this, books and things, and you look at like animals and they have extra cones, and that's tetrachromancy, because they have 4 primary colors, like birds and reptiles and stuff. The whole thing is so fascinating, and I just wanted to try and figure out, like, is there a way I could create a sketchbook? Let's see, do I have even the correct brush with me? Is there a way to sort of do this in a sketchbook where I create something in a color and then, like, I don't know, ask people to stare at it and it creates another image alongside it? Like, is there a way to do that? You know when you like squeeze your eyes shut really, really tight when you're like in the passenger seat of the car and you're going through areas that have sunlight and shade, like you go under a bridge and you can kind of see it looks reddish brown, kind of, even with your eyes closed, your brain's trying to make up information. Like, I want to try and figure out how to recreate some of those colors that your brain imagines. Like, I think that would be just the most fascinating thing to do. I'm trying to do this quick, especially on this side because of bleed through. I think it would be a super fascinating, and I'm gonna have to wait till that dries to pull that bristle out, and that one too. Like, how to incorporate some of this and level up some of my illustrations and drawing challenges to incorporate tricks of the eye. And I'm not sure how to do that, so this definitely needs to dry for quite a bit. It may even need a second layer. It's just these different color theories and these different things. Like, I want to try and do all kinds of things with color. I don't just want to talk about hue and shade and tint. I want to talk about things that, like, the eyes are having trouble perceiving, because I think this is absolutely fascinating. So it's, I don't know how to do that. And maybe it's a play on complementary colors in a drawing challenge that tricks the eye partially. You know, remember those images where you stare at them and another image pops out? Like, they just look like a weirdo pattern. They were real popular in like the 80s, 90s. I think I had a calendar when I was a child. Those are really, really cool. I would have no idea how to create a pattern where if you stare at it, a background image pops out. But that would be fun to do too. I just really wanted to talk about something really, really strange that's just been on my mind that I want to try and incorporate into a drawing challenge somehow. And I'm not sure, because obviously I can't create a drawing challenge where I'm like, okay, here's my drawing challenge. Close your eyes. Do you see the art? Can you see it? So it would have to be one where you stare at it and then there would be a blank space and you would see sort of it in the opposite color. So maybe I create it in the incorrect color, you know, like I'm drawing orange clouds or something, and then you stare at it and then you see the blue cloud or something. It would be really, really strange. I really want to figure out how to do that just a little bit, because I think this is fascinating. I think tricking the eye, looking at commercial colors, like self-luminous colors, hyperbolic colors, like looking at all these different things. I will link some articles that are really interesting and fascinating if you want to learn about the eye and color. But I don't know, I wanted to talk about it, and I wanted to talk about it with you, because I figured if you're here, you're on my channel, you love art, color fascinates you too. I hope you enjoyed this weird little video. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will talk to you tomorrow. Bye.